All right, welcome to Introduction to Business. My name is Tommy Ryder. I will be the instructor for this course. This is a navigation video to help you understand how to navigate Blackboard Ultra and to show you the parts that we will use, as well as some of the parts we won't use. Now, you're seeing my screen here. I have not opened up the modules yet, so we're going to use mine so you can see what it looks like. Your tabs at the top will look a little bit different. But I'm just going to start with the one on the left here. So content. If you want to get to the modules, you can go to content, and then yours will start with a click here to begin. It's kind of slow, but when you go to the click here to begin, start with the read me first. This will give you some information about the course, kind of what we're talking about in this course, and then other information. In fact, gives you instructions on what you need to do the first week of class. So go to the read me first. You can find some more information about me under meet the instruction or the instructor. The course navigation will be this video. The simple syllabus, if you click on that, that will take you directly to the syllabus for the course. I would recommend that you print that out and keep that handy so that you can refer back to it. It will also have in the syllabus your course calendar, which is also located right here in this tab. To get the information about the textbook, you can click that link. Respondus lockdown browser information, we'll go over that more, but this is the system that we use to monitor you while you take your test and do some of your quizzes remotely. And then any support you need for technology or campus can be found here. NetTutor, you can get free online tutoring available 24/7 in a wide variety of subjects. So you'll click on that tab to see that. I won't go through every one of these tabs, but just to give you an idea of what they're going to look like, before every week, you should see the weekly overview. This is going to give you information about what the chapter or that information for that week will consist of. And then it also lists the tasks that you're required to do that week. So it summarizes everything that's required that week. You can also look at the calendar, the schedule, and it should also show you what's due on certain days. In this, you'll see that it says read chapter 1, pages 3 through 21. There is some information that will be in your quizzes and in your test that will come from different places in the book that you may or may not expect that information to come from. Your quizzes will be open book. You won't get to use your phones or anything like that, no electronic devices, but for your quizzes, you'll be able to use your book. So I highly recommend that you read the chapters before your quiz so that you're familiar with where to find that information. First week, you'll do an introduction discussion. Tell me a little bit about yourself. And then the first week, we'll have to take a practice test in Respondus. In this practice test, what I'm looking for is to make sure that you are able to follow all of the steps and get credit for all of that before you begin your quizzes or your exams. So in the Respondus testing, you will have to show your ID, and there will be places for that, steps that walk you through that, things that you'll be expected to do. You have to do an environment scan. So you will need a laptop that you can pick up and turn 360 degrees. And by 360 degrees, I mean that you show what is above you, what's below you. You have to show me all the things that are around you 360 degrees. What's in front of you? Just turn the camera all the way around and do it slowly so that I can see anything and everything. I need to see what's on your desk or wherever you're taking your test. I need to see everything that's around you. My instructions are that you will use your You will show me what's in your lap, show me what's underneath your chair, show me your workspace. Then when you put your laptop down or the webcam, if you grab the webcam and show your space with it, once you put that down, I want you to take a mirror, just a small mirror, and put the mirror to your chest so that you can show me your workspace again before you start the test. So I want to make sure that there is nothing in, on top of or around your computer, your laptop, whatever, before you begin the test. These expectations will be listed in the instructions for Respondus testing, and they will also be, you'll be shown how to do that before you start your test. Failure to do any of these steps will result in a loss of some or all the points for the test. And if you have more than one issue, or if you have more than one occurrence of that, then you may be required to go to the testing center to take all future tests. And because we use Respondus for our quizzes, that would mean every week you would have to go to the testing center. So I highly suggest that you follow the instructions, learn them, follow them for every single test. So you'll do a practice Respondus test. And once you do that, and I have a chance to review it, then you will be able to go down and do your Chapter 1 quiz. You cannot do the Chapter 1 quiz until you have first shown me that you can pass this Respondus practice test. Any videos that you have for that section, your lectures or any additional videos that I put in there will be under the videos. I give you key terms for every chapter. Those are key terms that come from the book. When you see a file like this, you can click on the side here for a preview. It will give you a quick preview, and then you can click this button to download that to your computer. As you can see, there's quite a few terms here, but these terms lists are not exhaustive of all the terms that are in the chapter. So I always suggest that if it's bolded in your text and listed as a term, even if it's not up on the side of the pages, make sure that you know those terms. The majority of your test is going to be knowing what these terms are. So I would print these and have these available. You can use your book as well as any notes or even these terms list as you take your quiz. These will not be allowed on the test, but you can use them for the quiz. For this first assignment on the first week, you'll just do a matching assignment to differentiate between capitalism, socialism, and communism. All of the answers are in the book. You just have to read the material and compare what's in the book to the matching questions and answer accordingly. And then you'll have your quiz. Now, in week 3, you will have, again, your lecture, a discussion assignment. This may or may not be due on week 3. I may not have that one open for you, but you will have an exam on week 3. For the exam, you will not be able to use any books, notes, anything. Your testing area will need to be completely clean. You will have to show me when you do your 360-degree view of your testing area that you have nothing around you. As you take these quizzes or these tests, just know that in Respondus, it will record every sound, every movement. Your face has to be in the camera at all times. You have to have light in the room so that I can see you and everything around you when you do your scan of the room. But your face has to be in the camera at all times. So just know that it's recording every sound that's made, every thing that you do. For the exams, I will tell you that the questions are situational or scenario based for many of them. So it may tell you that Pablo owns a taco stand and uh, give you kind of a scenario or a background of the information. But the main crux of those questions is what you need to pay attention to. So you're looking for any key information in that question because that should refer right back to your key terms or pertinent information in the chapter. With every exam, you will get an exam review. Every test question is covered under the exam review. My recommendation, I know that it can be a lot of work, but the students who utilize this exam review have done very well on the test. So obviously all the terms and definitions you'll want to make sure you do. But then everything else in here, for instance, it says Dodd-Frank Act. I would go to the book and make a few notes about Dodd-Frank. That way I know that information, I study it, and I'm prepared when the exam comes along. All right, so that's how you navigate the modules. Each module will be opened up a week early. So the first two modules will be open on the 20th. And then even though this is not due until the September the 1st, as you can see here, this will be due on the 25th. Week 3 will open up next week, so August the 26th, and so on. So by the time you get to your final at the end, so you notice on week 15, there's a Thanksgiving break, so no assignments will be due from the 24th all the way to the next Monday. Then you will start December 1st through the 9th. You have extra time during week 16 because you're preparing for 2 chapters. You'll have to do assignments from chapter 15 and chapter 16, and I want you to be preparing for your final exam. The final exam is not cumulative. It is strictly over the last 3 chapters. So that's that part. The calendar tab, I do not insert the assignments into the calendar, so you probably won't need to use that. You'll use the calendar that's provided under the begin here. Any announcements? So if anything happens and I need to get information out to you quickly, I will put it into an announcement. That announcement should show up as soon as you open your course. The announcement should pop up for you. Discussions, you will have several discussions. All of these that are listed here will not be required of you this during the term. I have more than, we'll probably use about 6 of those. And then other things in here that may or may not apply to you. Again, in your view, this is what yours will look like. So if you need to send a message to me, you can email me directly or you can send a message within the course through here. Over here to the right on your screen, as you will see everyone that's in, you can see the roster. If we have a, you can check your attendance here, you can look at the book, but if we record anything in class or any lectures, those are usually found over here, but I don't think that's going to apply for this course. The last thing I want to show you is the syllabus. So the information from the syllabus, this is the course number, Introduction to Business. This is my contact information. It's best to email me and I will respond back to you as quickly as possible. This is my office. It's located in TKP 230. So on the 2nd floor of that building. My office hours, so you can catch me in the office Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 8:30 to 9:30. Monday, I stay after my last course, so I'll be here from 2:35 to 4, and then Tuesday, Thursday between 11:05 and 1 o'clock. You can call me anytime during these hours, and I should be in my office, or you can drop by and visit me. This tells you about the course, any prerequisites. There are no lab hours. This is the book information for you. You'll be evaluated based on exams, assignments, quizzes, and discussions. Your exams, there will be 6 exams total, I believe. That will make up 55% of your grade. Any assignments, your quizzes, your discussions, all of those are broken down, but added together, they equal 35%. And then your final exam, again, it's not cumulative, but it will be worth 10% of your grade. I do round up. So if you make an 89.4, that will round up to a 90, so you'll get an A in that class. If it's an 89.5. If it's an 89.4, unfortunately, that even though it's off just by 0.1, that will not be rounded up. So it has to be 89.5, 79.5, 69.5, and so on. You're going to get your material through the reading assignments, discussion boards. There's PowerPoint presentations for you to watch. There's a lecture video for you to listen to, and then any notes and assignments that are found in Blackboard. These are the objectives for the course. Again, here's your calendar. So we begin on Wednesday, August the 20th. You'll want to read the Begin Here tab. Sorry about that. So we'll begin the course on August the 20th, review the material, instructor information, and all of that to begin here. And then you will have assignments due. So on your discussion questions, these are post first, and then you can see other students' posts. So you will have to post your initial discussion post a few days prior to the due date for the discussion. That is done so that your fellow students have time to look at your post and then respond to it before the due date. So make sure, typically that falls on a Thursday. It's going to be different this first week, but typically it falls on a Thursday. So make sure that you get that initial post in. When I grade your discussions, you will receive partial credit if that initial post is not done by the initial post due date. And then if you do not respond to 1 or 2, depending on the assignment of your peers, then I'll deduct points for that as well. Or you may receive no points for that part. So by August 25th, you'll have to do your first quiz, that introduction discussion assignment, and the capitalism communism assignment. August 23rd, so you only have 3 days to get that Respondus practice test done. That tells me that you're ready to take that practice quiz. You can work ahead. So if you want to go ahead, do all of the assignments for chapter 1 and move ahead to chapter 2 or week 2, you can work ahead 1 full week. That's why I open them up for you. I know some people's schedules, they have greater availability at certain times than others. And so I allow you to work ahead, and that's perfectly okay. You'll notice September 2nd that the exam 1 will be open. So you can begin working on that. It will be due on Monday. So your assignments are not due typically until Monday at 11:59 p.m. And then just follow this, look at this to see when everything is due. Attendance policy. So for an online course, you have to be present and active every week. So if there is an assignment and you do not submit anything for that week, there has been no communication during that week from you, then you can be considered absent for that week. You can have 2 weeks of absences and then be dropped from the course. So if you, and those do not have to be consecutive weeks. So it's not that you miss 2 weeks consecutively. If you do not communicate, do not do an assignment for 1 week, and then you catch up or you do a couple of more weeks work, and then you miss another week where there's no communication, there's no assignments turned in, technically that's 2 absences for the course and you can be dropped. So my recommendation for this course, It doesn't move very quickly, but there is a lot of information to be learned. So once you fall behind in this course, it's really hard to catch up. So I urge you to stay caught up in the class. If you have to be gone for something, if you fall ill, I understand that. The main thing is you have to communicate with me. So make sure you communicate with me and let me know what's going on. Something important here, you must log in and submit work within 1 week of the start of online classes. If you do not do that, then you can be withdrawn from the course. So if you're a no-show, you don't turn anything in, you don't communicate, it's not even an email. You have to submit some type of work. Do the practice respondus, do that first assignment, submit the quiz, any of those. If you fail to do that, you will be dropped from the course. If you wish to withdraw from the course, you must request a withdrawal from your advisor. Don't just assume by not showing up that someone's going to drop you when you want to be dropped. You need to request that withdrawal from your advisor. Late assignments. So if an assignment is due on Monday at 11:59 and you turn it in Sunday at 1 a.m., that assignment is late. You will be docked 30% rather, if you get it completed within 1 week. So you'll have a week from the day that it was due to get it turned in to get 70%. You'll lose 30%. After that, your late work will not be accepted and you'll receive a 0. If you are late taking a quiz, taking a test, an assignment that's auto-graded, you will receive an automatic 0, and then you have a week to complete that assignment to receive the 70% credit. If you fail to do that, then you will just keep that 0 for that assignment. As far as artificial intelligence, AI, ChatGPT, Grok, Claude, all of those, students, this is our policy. You can use AI technologies to support your learning, but you are not allowed to use it to do your work. There are tools as well as telltale signs in AI generated information that let the instructor know whether that is your thought or whether it is AI generated. If I suspect that you have used AI, then I will address that with you one-on-one. If it becomes a problem, where I see this the most is on discussion boards. Do not use AI for your discussion boards. If you need AI to help you come up with an idea, that's one thing, but when you respond to the discussion, you type it out, you use your words, your thoughts, and most of the discussion questions are personal anyway. So it should be about something that you have done, you've seen, you've witnessed, your personal ideas or thoughts about something. So AI really shouldn't benefit you much. If it's very generalized in your response, that will tell me immediately that you used AI to come up with that answer. Again, the respondus lockdown. We may have to make adjustments to this deduction of your grade because I believe there's some new rules that came out about that. But you must do a full and thorough environment scan. You have to show your ID to take your test. You cannot have other people in the room. I understand if you have children, sometimes they will move in and out of the room. I get that. But you should not have other people in the room with you when you're taking these exams. One, it's going to be a terrible distraction, and you're going to need all of your attention on that test. The tests are timed, so you will be given a certain amount of time to complete those tests. I believe most of the tests are 45 to 50 question exams. Your quizzes are 20 questions, I believe it is. So just make sure that you follow the instructions for that. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me. Let me know well in advance if you know that you're going to be out or you may miss something. And I think that should do it.